What's going on, family? I'm Slain, and today on the MPC, I'm going to show you guys how to create a drum kit. And on this drum kit, I want to show you how to add effects and inserts on this drum kit. And then we're going to take that drum kit and take these individual sounds and add those sounds to a submix. And then we're going to save it for future uses, future projects, so that way anytime you need it, it'll always be there. So thank you for clicking on my content. So if you find any use out of this information, I'd appreciate it if you would like and subscribe. Let's get right into it. If I come over, there's no program, so I'm going to add a program. I'm going to click this plus button right here. I've got a program, so I'm going to name it. Next thing I'm going to do, you need to go to Browse. So I'm going to Browse. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to load in some kicks. Okay, you see how there's nothing there? That's because this icon right here, this is sample icon. This is for your projects. This is for your sequences. This is for already made programs. This is for plugins when you save your plugins. This is for samples. This is where my samples are. And this is for everything. So this, if you click on this, everything will be in there. This is the audition button. If you click on this, sync means that you can actually have the song or whatever you're producing at the time playing, and as you scroll down, it'll sync. It'll play right on time within each count. Warp is more for musical samples, or if you're loading in some brass or some piano, it'll warp it to your tempo. Right now, we just need auto on, which means that every time we scroll up or down, we're gonna hear it. And I'm gonna on the kicks folder now. So I want all of these kicks. So I'm gonna hold Shift, load all. And if I come over to sample assign, you can see all of my kicks have been loaded. Okay, so now this is how I make my drum kits. I'm going to show you guys my preferences. 1 and 2 are my preferences. These are the drum kits I want to use. But I like 3 and 4 because, they sound good. They're just not my first pick. So I'll come over to Pad Bank B and I'll load 3 and 4. So they're still available. I just don't have them on Bank A. Now I'm in my snares. Okay. I'm auditioning. Let's say my preferences are 2 and 3. So that's there. I'll click on a pad that I want to load it to. If you see this green right here, that means that this pad is going to, if I click load, this snare is going to be loaded onto this pad. So we'll go load. And just as a note, if you click on this and it doesn't turn green, it means there's no program here. So you have to go back to what I told you earlier. You got to make sure there's a program available for you to put the samples on. Okay. So I've got the 2 there, and I want to put 1 here. So that's green. So I know that when I hit load, that's there. I like 3, so I'm going to go to Bank B. I'm going to load this snare and Bank B on that pad. This is what I have. I have 2 kicks and 2 snares. I've got some snaps in here. Let's load all the snaps. So we'll just go to load all. I'll come over to sample. You can see my snaps right here. So these 2 I definitely want. I want this one. And I want this one. And this one will work fine just right there. See what I've got. All right, there's a crash. Let's go back to A. I like that crash. I'm going to load that. All right, I want to put that. I like that. So I'm going to load that there. I like that. I'm going to load that there. So that reverse is going to be nice. And a rim shot. You can always use a rim shot. Shaker. Put the shaker right here. And it's another shaker. We'll put that right there. Double click on that, open that up. Go back to main. I would click on the pencil. I would do pad color. Get the pad color. The classic, I would turn to the right, get bright velocity. These empty dim pads, I would turn off, single pad, and now I would colorize it based on my own preference. So right now, I can look at everything and tell exactly what it is. That's bank B, and this is bank A. Okay, so we're going to go into program edit right now. And I'm on bank A. My hi-hat and my open hat, and I'm putting them in the same group. So the mute group. So I'll put those in group 1. Pad 9 is in group 1. Pad 4 is in group 1. All of my hi-hats, I'll throw those into 1. Okay, so I've added all of those to the group right now. We're in program edit and we're in bank A. So I'm going to click on effects and I'm going to click on effects again. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to add high pass and low pass filters to each individual sound. Remember, this is going to be a template. We're going to pull this up later for future projects. So this is going to eliminate a lot of the headache, of trying to do all of this during a session. And I'll turn that into a low pass. And I'll let all the low go by. With the kick, I normally go into it sounds. You can't go wrong. So that's a lot of the mid coming out. So I'll start it off, depending on the project, I'll start it off at about 500. You don't want to lose too much of the mids. Low pass is simply allowing the low frequencies to pass through. I want to take away from the actual sound. So, because you can always later, mix it or add to it. So I don't want to take too much away. So I'll let the high pass on this. So let the high pass. So when I'm cutting a lot of these snares and rim shots, I'm taking out about 80. That's the low frequency with the bass. I'm just showing you guys how to have it pre-ready so that it's going to sound decent every time you get ready to use it. So that's pad A. Everything has a high pass filter. But you pretty much coming in this screen. It's just setting it up. This is your downtime right now. This is the type of stuff you really don't want to do while you're in a music session. So this is what I'm showing you. So this is bank A. And let me go to B. B. Okay, and now we're going to do a low pass on this. Let the low, cut that out. And we're going to let the high pass on this. And put that on 89. What you can also do, you come into the envelope. Now this is advanced. If there's anything that you would like to do in here, you can set this. There's nothing really I want to do in here. So you can adjust the attack, the decay. If you want it a little more snappy. This takes a little time. Then we can also go into the samples. Say for instance, I want to stack. So let's say I've got 1 and 2 right here, but let's say for instance I like 3. So let's watch this. So I like this one, but it's kind of hollow. Let's add something to it. So I'll go to layer 2. I'll come here and I'll look for the snare 3. Let's see where it's at. Snap, snare 1, 2, and 3. So now I've got those two playing at the same time. I just layered those two. So right now, layer 1, and then I've got layer 2. And if you really want to get even more advanced, you come in here. Let's say, for instance, to give it a little more beef. You can hear that. But right now, this is going into a little bit more advanced. It's not difficult, but it's just a little more advanced. Let's say I want to offset this one to hit. You hear that? So they're layered. Let's say I want to turn one down or turn one up. You come in here, you can set the pitches, the levels, the pans. One can hit on the left side. It's endless dealing with this. But depending on how you want your kit to sound. Also, on this page, you can add effects to individual sounds. You want to make this more snappy, you come in here, you can add air transient. You can look in here, let's see, you can add the transient shaper. See that? If I go back to main right now, you can see I've got these drum kits. And I've got them all set up. Got them color coded. I've got A and I've got B. But this kit right here is ready for future use. Added effects to it. I've trimmed them. I've did high pass, low pass filters on each individual sound already. So now what I'm going to show you is how to add these individual sounds to sub mixes. Okay, so now what we'll do, we'll come to the channel mixer. You go inside of the channel mixer and you go to the returns. Okay, now this is secret sauce right here, man. This is the good stuff. So if you stuck around this long, you're really getting the good stuff. Okay, I'll come here. I'll add a delay analog on here, and this is, I'll do a quarter delay. So I've got a quarter delay on the first return. On the first return, I've got a quarter delay. Second return, I've got an eighth delay. Ooh, I'm looking for reverbs. Okay, I was in the right place. I'm sorry. You gotta go down. So on the first one, I'm gonna do let's do a large reverb. And on the second one, I'm gonna do a small reverb. These are the inserts. But I'm gonna add these inserts to my sub mixes. So now I'm on returns up here. You see that? I'm in channel mixer and returns. So now let's go over to sub mix. So now these are my sub mixes. My hi-hats will go in sub mix 4. Okay, from here, we're going to go back to the main screen. And then we're going to go to pad mixer. Because I have it color coded, I know where my hi-hats are. My hi-hats are blue. That's an open hat. And there's a closed hat. So what I want to do now is I want to send these to sub mix 4. So if I come here to route, I can click this, make sure it's highlighted. That's going to sub mix 4. And so is this open hat. This open hat is on program, and I spin till it says sub mix 4. Then I'll come to bank B. Again, because I have it color coded, I can see where my hats are. This is a hat. I'm going to, same thing, make sure it's on route. Sub mix 4. Sub mix 4. And sub mix 4. So all of my hats now are going to sub mix 4. So if I go back to channel mixer, and if you look at sub mix 4, when I hit the hats, all of them are coming out of sub mix 4. Okay, now that I have all of my hats going out of sub mix 4, I'm going to go to returns. So I want to send the sub mix out of these returns. So I'm going to put these returns on the sub mix that I choose. Okay, so now, as you can see, remember, on the first return, we have a quarter delay. On the second return, we have an eighth delay. On the third return, we have a large reverb. And on the fourth return, we have a small reverb. Over to the sub mixes, you see send. So if you click here on the first dot, that would be the quarter delay. On the second dot, that would be the eighth delay. On the third dot, that would be the large reverb. On the fourth dot, that would be the small reverb. So sub mix 4, make sure it's highlighted. The hi-hat is coming through it. And on this, I want to let's do an eighth delay. So I'll make sure that the second dot is selected, and you keep hitting it till you get the result you're looking for. You can hear it. And then I want to add a small reverb to it, so I'll turn that up. Just a little bit, just to give it enough little. Then all of my hats have all of these. If I go to bank B, and that's the secret sauce right there. So let's say on Submix 2, I want to add my snares. What I'll do, I'll go to Pad Mixer. Go to Pad Mixer. I know my snares are orange because I color coded them. So I come here, make sure the route is selected. Select the one I want to do, Submix 2. And here, the route, which is Submix 2. And then I'll go to Bank B. I see one snare right here, Submix 2. Sub 2. Right now, we're fleshing out this drum kit. This drum kit is going to be ready, set, go. As my channel grows, I'll add these templates and make them accessible to all my subscribers. So if you're looking forward to that, the more videos I do, I'll save these and add them into the description below. I'm not doing it just yet because I'm making content. But as my channel grows, I will make these templates available in the description. So now we'll go back to Channel Mixer, Sub Mixes, and so we'll add the quarter delay to Submix 2. So the quarter delay is the first dot. So I'll listen to it as it comes up. Snaps. Okay, so now we have all of our hats coming out of Submix 4 and our snares coming out of Submix 2. And we've added to the returns, if you come back up here, and if you see in the returns, we set all of those up. And right now we fleshed out a pretty nice drum kit. You can continue going on. Let's say, for instance, if you wanted to take the program. This is the program right here. Let's say we wanted to add a compressor to it. So we come to Dynamics. See which compressor we would want to add. Let's say if we add a compressor to the program. So now if you come back, if you look at the program, we've added a compressor. Go to Pad Mixer. You come back to your levels. The kick, let's say I want my kicks at -3 dB. See, these are things that you would do during your downtime. So that way, once you get ready to start a new project, you've already got your drum kit ready to go. And you might have to make little adjustments because, you know, mixing is a forever process. But at least you've got a foundation to begin with. You can start selling kits. Or, you know, you're fleshing out these sounds, you're adding sounds, you're layering sounds. And you'll come back to main and you'll save the current program. And we'll go here. I'll save. Yes, I'll override it. And voila, you have it. Now, the only problem is that just because you save the drum kit does not mean that all of the other things that we've done, that would have to be in your template. So let's say, for instance, if you go to Channel Mixer, the returns aren't saved. The sub mixes are not saved, but your drum kit is saved. So my next video I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to create a template so that when you load this drum kit, it'll be already ready for you, because even though you saved the program, you still haven't saved the sub mixes or the returns. All right, so thank you for your time. If you watched this far, I hope that I was able to explain this content pretty good and you got something useful out of it. And I'd appreciate it if you would like and subscribe. All right, till the next time, peace.